It's frustrating how there aren't really many good resources online if you want to learn Persian. If you want to learn French or Spanish, there's all sorts of stuff online that you can use for free. But for Persian, that's unfortunately not the case. And that's why many people use private tutors on websites like Italki, Preply, and other websites. I myself tutor on Italki and I've taught more than 2,000 online lessons so far. This video is not sponsored by Italki or anybody else, so I'm going to tell you how to use such websites, if it is a good idea to use such websites at all, and what tutor you should be choosing. Hi, my name is Hossein. I've learned multiple languages myself, and I've been helping people learn Persian for nearly a decade. Now let's get to the video. If you're a total beginner, you don't need a professor, a university professor teaching you Persian. What you need is a relaxed environment. What you need is a safe space to make mistakes because you will be making mistakes. Your brain is already overwhelmed with unfamiliar pronunciations, new words, new structures, and you don't want to make a fool of yourself. You'd be very self-conscious. You could be nervous even. So you don't want to be embarrassing yourself, and that's why the first thing you need is a calm, relaxed environment. So when choosing a tutor, make sure you feel comfortable with them. Make sure they're patient, make sure they're encouraging, even if you make a lot of mistakes. Make sure they let you make those mistakes. They don't constantly correct you and be like, um, oh, this is wrong, this is actually the right way. So you don't want a perfectionist. You just want somebody to help you course correct, basically. And finally, they should teach you the basics in a basic way. What I mean is, you should make sure that they know proper English. Because there are some tutors, I've heard from my students that there are some tutors that just tell you that's just the way it is. Like there's no way you can explain that. That's just the way this language works. You should just memorize it, which can be misleading at times. So if somebody knows English properly, they're going to help you learn Persian in a much, much more smooth way. Here's a real life example that my student told me. He said, I don't know why they say ke at the end of the sentence, right? So the sentence was behet goftam ke. Behet goftam means I told you. Ke is like that. Like when you say, I know that you are a student. I know that you are learning Persian. Like that. So he was confused. It was like, why did they say ke at the end of the sentence? Like it makes no sense. And another tutor had apparently told him, that's just the way it is. It's for emphasis. I can't find a word for it. But there's a very simple word for this in English. It's though. I told you though. So it's that kind of emphasis. So when you have these parallels between languages, it really helps you understand the logic behind the language better. Of course, there are untranslatable things in Persian, and there are also things that cannot be explained as easily with a single word in English. So that makes this point even more important. So they should know very good English in order to explain such complex structures to you in a basic way, in a simple way. Because if they don't know it well, they're going to overcomplicate things, and that's going to make it frustrating and tiring for you. So in that initial stage, your only goal is to understand the basic building blocks of the language, learn some phrases, and start speaking. So you should speak from day one. Many people don't even realize this is the case. I've talked about it in one of my other videos. So that comfortable, that approachable tutor can really create that safe space for you to open up and speak even with your broken Persian at those initial stages. So this takes me to the next phase, which is even more crucial than the first one. So once you've got those building blocks and that basic grammar at your disposal, you're going to have to talk much, much more. You're going to have to speak more and more Persian because Persian is not really a grammar heavy language. At this stage, your tutor is going to spend way less time describing things and much, much more time speaking with you. And if you can't describe something. If you can't think of the word in Persian, just try to describe it with other words. Make gestures. I don't know, say something silly. Like one of my one of my students once said, um, airplane in the sea. He wanted to say ship, but he couldn't find the word for it. So we had a laugh and we learned, and he's never gonna forget that word. So it's not like you prepare and then feel ready to speak. You speak and speak and speak, and slowly you speak better and better until you even sometimes think in Persian. That's how learning languages works. So beginners should focus on building blocks, structure of the language, and making simple conversations. And once you're in that intermediate range, you should only be speaking Persian. Speak Persian as much of the lesson as possible. Of course, your tutor is going to be helping you along the way. It's not like you're all on your own. So listen every day, speak every day, and make mistakes every day. That's one of the reasons I've created a community for other Persian learners like you to join, talk together, have Q&A sessions, book private lessons, whatever, and all sorts of goodies and resources can be found in the links below. Thank you for watching and consider helping my channel. Thank you. Your brain is already overwhelmed with new structures, unfamiliar pronunciation, and all. Your brain is already overwhelmed.